What do the students and the teachers do in a reconstructionist classroom? The roles are starkly different. The teacher responds to learners' requests. What does that mean? The teacher responds to the learner's request simply means the teacher is open to the students asking questions. And when students ask questions, they are thinking. And no question that a student asks is a dumb question, is a poor question, is a no good question, is a weak question. A question is a question. The student was thinking, the student has this issue, the student needs this help, needs this clarification, needs to understand more, and therefore asks the question. A reconstructionist teacher will be open and expect students to be asking questions in his or her classroom. There is no to questions in such a classroom. Questions come, they can come at the start of the class, they can come during the class, they can come at the end of the class, and they can actually also come outside the class. But the student is the one who's asking the questions. And when students ask questions, they are normally how or why questions. Students do not ask the what, where, when, and who questions. So when they are asking the how and why questions, they are thinking beyond lower order thinking. They are getting into higher order thinking. That is where you ask the why and the how questions. So the teacher's role is to respond to student questions, not by providing all the answers, but by asking the class to provide answers. So returning a question with another question to the class. When that is answered, putting yet another question to the class, and that questioning process continues. Does not initiate learning in the students. The teacher does not initiate learning. Students initiate learning by questions they ask. So if I'm teaching a class tomorrow, I tell the students, read up the 2 pages in your textbook. Now, next morning in the class, I start by, what did you read? How did you find the reading? What was the difficulties? Any clarifications or help? And the students will begin asking. That is when the learning is initiated by the student and not the teacher. The student is naturally good and must be protected from the evils of society. That is why, especially when we see society practicing what we don't preach and not practicing what we preach, that's the problem here. The student is good. Okay, he will learn good or bad from society as he moves along his or her life. It is the teacher's job to prevent the student from getting evil or from getting bad and help the student stay with the good, because inherently young people are all good. They develop the bad habits, they develop the evil things in life based on what they see and experience in their homes, in their communities, in their societies, and begin to believe that that is true and not what the teacher is trying to say or have them do in the classrooms. So the role of the student here is to understand good from bad, understand why something is good, at the same time why something is bad, and has the freedom to choose. The teacher should not be deciding for the child. The child should decide for himself or herself. The choice, the freedom of choice rests with the student. If the student decides to do bad, well, hopefully there'll be consequences. If the student decides to do good, hopefully there will be rewards. So whichever way the student behaves, a reward or a consequence will be coming.